sooner than that. The Durham County Board of Election had requested actually the polls to be open for 90 minutes. Well, but they did not get the 90 minutes they asked. As I said, it was a computer glitch.
Bullshit. That's not a computer glitch problem. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my God. So the polls should be open late.
In the state of North Carolina. Now, Wolf, I should note, in the state of North Carolina, very important to him.
Oh my God. No, the polls should be fucking... You disturb me. You'll disturb me on such a
very
level.
interesting indeed. All right, we're going to get back to you, Mark. You know, John Durham, let's talk a little bit about Durham. They're going to get a little extra. The polls supposed to close there at the bottom of the hour in a few minutes from now, but they're going to stay open maybe as long as another hour.
As Mark just explained, not as long as the Democrats had hoped for and had requested, but they do get the polls open longer. As Mark noted, we're going to wait to watch this fill in, but let's go back for historical perspective. This is an overwhelmingly Democratic county, the African-American vote, other Democratic constituencies, and you see a state like this, again, North Carolina, like Florida, one of the most tightly contested states in the United States, so each party knows where its voters are, especially in the age of big data politics. The Clinton campaign has a list. They know who they need to vote here in Durham County, and the question is you check them off as they go and you try to turn people out, so they're desperate to keep these polls open because in a state as close as North Carolina, Mitt Romney took it back from the Democrats. It's been traditionally Republican there. President Obama won it just barely, 50-50, in 2008. So in a state this closely contested, pretty obvious, every vote matters. And so you have these arguments, and it's in a key area of the state. Not just Durham, but the Raleigh-Durham area. You have the African-American base out of Durham. You have the Research Triangle of Raleigh-Durham. This is a key battle to be critical for Hillary Clinton to run it up in these areas, and absolutely critical for Donald Trump. His competition in the suburbs is very important here too, so we'll be a little later counting those votes. Let's see the state we expect to take us deep into the night.
They'll stay open for as long as an extra hour. Dana, we're getting our first projections of the balance of power in the U.S. Senate.
That's right, Wolf, we sure are. And let's start with the state of Vermont. Patrick Leahy, already one of the longest-serving senators in history, CNN can project will go on to win an 8th term, defeating his Republican challenger, Scott Milne. Now let's go to the state of Kentucky. Rand Paul, people remember, he started out this campaign running for president, dropped out, then decided to run for re-election. CNN can project that he has won that seat, defeating his Democratic challenger, Jim Gray. Now let's go to South Carolina. Republican incumbent Tim Scott, CNN can project that he will defeat his Democratic challenger, Thomas Dixon. Tim Scott being the first African-American ever to represent the South. Now let's look at key races where we're watching very, very closely. Indiana, again, this is an open seat, a Republican seat. Todd Young, the Republican, at this hour, just about 10% of the vote in, is pretty far ahead. Evan Bayh, who's trying to get his old Senate seat back, turn that blue. We're going to be watching that very, very closely. And now we have some where the polls have not yet closed, but we do see some numbers coming in. Marco Rubio, who is running for re-election, is up pretty significantly, but you see over 2% of the vote there. He's up by more than 60,000 votes. We're going to watch that very, very closely. And then another marquee race. This could determine whether or not Republicans keep the Senate. Incumbent Kelly Ayotte is trying to hold on to that defeat her Democratic challenger, the governor, Maggie Hassan. Only 1% in there. This is the one we're going to be watching incredibly closely all night long. So let's look at the balance of power.
Do your thing, how you do your thing.
Jake, you see there on the big board, 37 right now for Democrats, 32 for Republicans, and 31 of the races that we're watching still not yet called. So, you know, some of the ones that we just called were not big surprises. No. It's still important for the one Democrat and 2 Republicans to get in their column. Indiana, to me, is absolutely fascinating because the Democrats thought they could make that competitive by running somebody whose name is incredibly popular and well-known, Evan Bayh, in the whole Midwest, especially Indiana. But it's unclear if he's going to be able to make it.
In a year where outsiders seem to be popular, especially among Republican voters and in Republican-leaning states like Indiana, Evan Bayh, former governor, former senator, and then has done this state in Washington, D.C., done a lot of lobbying. They recruited him to run, promising him that he would be able to win. we'll see what happens. It looks like it's much tougher than he banked on.
A lot tougher, and they thought he could win because his name has been sort of the political gold standard there, but maybe not in 2016.
Not just his name, of course. His
So
father
apparently
Bert's
Georgia, Virginia, and Kentucky are too early to call.
Key race alert right now.
Key race alert.
Here are the results coming in from Florida. 2% of the vote is in so far. 58.5% for Donald Trump, 30.2% for Hillary Clinton. Trump has an early lead of some 63,000 votes over Hillary Clinton. Only 2% of the vote is in Florida. 29 electoral votes are at stake there. And we're getting, of course, the numbers coming in very, very early from the state of Virginia. Hillary Clinton has a very slight lead. Look at how close it is, 49.5%, 45.5%. Hillary Clinton's lead, only 294 votes. Very, very early in Virginia, early in Florida. We're watching both of those key states right now. Let's go over to John King. The early votes in Florida. John, where are they coming in?
Mostly up here in the northern part of the state, the rural part of the state, the Republican part of the state. Remember, let's just do this so you can get a sense. All of our votes are right up around these lines. We go back in time and look. 2012 race, it's a largely Republican area. You got one county there in the middle that's Democratic. So it's a very small percentage of the vote. The major population centers around here.
Doing good.
This is where the big fight is.
Doing good.
If it's close in Florida, especially Orange County, growing Latino population here in the Orlando area. This is a big area. Democrats 60-40. Watch, this is a place where Democrats say they're early voting. Where we are right now. This doesn't tell us much, except these are conservative areas up here.
All right.
So we're looking here to see if Donald Trump
do
can
this.
run up the numbers. Now again, 0%. So these are just the first vote, 692 to 387. Very early and preliminary. But one of the things you're going to watch in a state like this, again, the closest state in 2012, is how does it shape up when you go back and look. And right now, remember, Romney at 63, Trump at 62.2. He's running about, again, very early returns where Mitt Romney was. Obviously, he'd like to run a little stronger than that because President Obama just carried the state. But we'll watch that as we go through these small, relatively 0.1% of the population. So you're looking for early clues in rural turnout. That is key to Donald Trump, especially in a state like Florida, this northern part of the state, which is the more southern part of the state, if you will, bordering the southern states. This is the much more conservative part of the state. When Trump's campaign on immigration, on Obamacare, on taxes and spending issues. This is much more important here. So we're watching early results. This doesn't tell us much, except for these early counties are filling in the way Donald Trump would want.
More Democratic counties down in the southern part of Florida. We're just minutes away from the next round of poll closings, including the battlegrounds of Ohio and North Carolina. North Carolina becoming even more crucial in the closing days of the presidential race. New results coming up right after a quick break.
All right. So during that quick break, I'm actually going to call off my phone.
Is brought to you by VoteForEnergy.org.
Rand Paul. Weird. All right.
Log on to learn more.
$6.95. TastingRoom.com, code PORK9. TastingRoom.com. Taste, rate, enjoy.
This is CNN.
This is CNN. Why? That way.
You look at live pictures of the White House, a beautiful night here in the nation's capital. This is what both candidates want. They want to be living there starting January 20th of next year. We're back here at the CNN Election Center. Once again, we want to welcome our viewers. We're standing by for the next wave of poll closings. Right now, we have
Poll
a key race
closings.
alert.
Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're doing this
Your
shit.
latest numbers coming in the key battleground state of Florida. More numbers there. 12% of the vote has now been counted. Donald Trump has a lead of 38,726.
Oh shit!
He's at 50%.
Hillary is fucking catching the shit up. Florida is going to
Florida 29 electoral votes. All of the polls, by the way, in Florida will close at the top of the hour. These are the numbers coming in right now. It just changed. Trump's lead has gone up to 61,604 over Hillary Clinton in Virginia.
Come on, baby, we can do this.
Very early,
We can do this.
1% of the vote is in. Trump has a 3,500 vote lead over Hillary Clinton. 13 electoral votes at stake in Virginia. In Georgia, also very, very early right now. Only 1% of the vote is in. Trump's lead 1,800 plus over Hillary Clinton. 73% to 25%. The three key battleground states. All of America and indeed the world now waiting to learn who will be the next president of the United States. We're counting down to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, just minutes from now. That's when the polls close in the key battleground states of Ohio and North Carolina, two of the key races.
Okay, Ohio and North Carolina.
Polls are also closing in West Virginia. Together, those states account for 38 of the 270 electoral votes needed to win the
Oh god, that's horrifying.
campaigns have invested a lot of time and money in Ohio.
What the fuck is that?
Indeed, although Ohio and North Carolina are generally considered must-wins for Donald Trump, North Carolina is one of the top races to watch. It could be the decider in this election, and from what we're hearing, it could go down to the wire. We're keeping an eye on all the major battlegrounds this evening, including many key races where voters are still casting ballots. Right now, let's check in with our correspondents who are at the major candidates' headquarters in New York City. Jim Acosta is joining us now. He's covering the Trump campaign. And Jim, what are you learning?
Jake, a senior advisor from Donald Trump's inner circle is sizing up the GOP candidates to me this way. His chances this way, quote, "It will take a miracle for us to win." That is the quote from a senior advisor inside Donald Trump's inner circle. This advisor went on to say that Trump was in such a deep hole after the release of that Access Hollywood tape. It was viewed inside the campaign that he was going to lose this race by a wide margin. But the fact that Donald Trump has been able to close that gap in the final weeks of this
Senior
campaign,
Trump
that is seen
advisor
as a major
just
accomplishment
mentioned
inside the campaign,
that
one
it will
might
take
actually
a
save the
miracle,
Senate for the
a
Republican Party.
fucking miracle
This advisor went on to say, and we did observe this out
for
on the campaign
Trump
trail,
to, you know,
that top
win, which is a really
were
good thing
urging to
for
Donald Trump,
Hillary
just
supporters,
about every
because
day, every
oh
chance
my
they
god,
could,
damn
that he
it,
had to
oh my
stay
god,
stay
oh
on
shit.
message. And that is also seen, according to this advisor, as a pretty stunning achievement here at the end of this campaign, given this candidate's volume.
Well, things are
All right,
fucking
Jim Acosta,
glitching because the whole entire damn thing is kind of overheating at the moment. I gotta do. Where's the chat? Where's the live chat?
But they are not counting their chickens.
Alright.
They certainly aren't, Jake. And inside the Clinton war room right now,
Oh,
this is what they're looking
someone
at.
joined and then they're like, no.
County, Ohio, where
No,
the
not
Ohio State
doing it.
University is, the city of Columbus is. I'm
Okay.
told by advisors on the ground there that they are seeing greater than expected turnout throughout there. And they turned into a rally that Secretary Clinton held after that second debate, right before voter registration and early voting started.
Oh,
it was one of the
shit.
biggest rallies of her campaign. So that's where the organizing comes in. At the same time, they're also concerned about a lower than expected turnout. Despite all the star power she has, from LeBron James to Jay-Z to Beyonce. So they're watching
Florida,
the areas of Cleveland as well. And in North Carolina tonight, Jake.
Florida is
7:30.
popping out.
They are looking
Damn
at
it,
these college towns,
oh
university
god, I
towns as
cannot
well.
handle
If
that
they
shit.
are to win in North Carolina, it will be because of a
shit, I don't know what kind of
Michelle
bullshit is
Obama
worse.
with Hillary Clinton on campus there. We saw President Obama going from campus to campus. That's what they are hoping for tonight if they are to pull out a win in North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
The campaign headquarters in Manhattan. Let's go to what's
I'm gonna eat some ramen.
Right now.
So I'm on CNN because I'm not gonna watch Fox News.
In the state of Florida,
I'm sorry.
30% of the vote
Actually, I'm not
She's got
sorry.
a significant 50,340 lead over Donald Trump. She's at 49.5%. Donald Trump at 47.7%. Remember, Florida. 29 electoral votes are at stake. All of a sudden, Hillary
That's right.
Clinton has
That's
a lead
right.
there. 30% of the vote is now in. Let's go over to John King at the Magic Wall. John, I want to talk about Florida. All of a sudden, a big chunk of votes came in, and she's doing well.
A big chunk of votes from traditionally and very important Democratic areas. Miami-Dade.
Oh, shit.
61% to
Florida.
36%. That's a small basket of votes from Miami-Dade. We're still at 0% right there. So that's the first dump of early votes coming in from Miami-Dade. Just to compare this is one of the things we're going to do all night, especially in a state like Florida that was so close right down to the wire 4 years ago. So 61 to 36. If you look at it there, let's just go back and look. 62 to 38. That's running about the same. Very early votes running about the same. Significantly, Wolf, also, you were here a few minutes ago talking about Florida. Just after you left, Palm Beach County came in. Donald Trump has said he'll do well here, right? This is where Mar-a-Lago is, Donald Trump's second home. Well, at the moment, not so much. Again, we're very early. We have a long way to go in counting Florida. And so when you see
Come on,
these early
Florida!
results, it's early
If
votes,
Florida
big
takes
for the
this,
most
if
part.
Florida
Let's see what we go
fucking
through the night.
takes
But
this
that is
bullshit,
exactly what Hillary Clinton needs
that
to do.
is going to be
61 to
absolutely
37. When you look at
awesome.
that,
Just,
go back in time, 58 to 41. And so
just
see, right now,
absolutely
these very
beautiful.
early results. Hillary Clinton running
By the
up
way,
the
that
percentages
Trump
that she
cake
needs
is
in Florida
absolutely
to
horrifying.
withstand what will happen up here. When this starts to fill it up across the northern part of the state, it's conservative. Another key area we're going to watch tonight is the Orlando area. This is an area of population growth.
I'm just going to...
Latino population growth. 62% or 63% if you round it up to 34% right now. And again, very early. But let's just compare it. Go back 4 years ago at 62 or 63, 59, President Obama. So she's overperforming a little bit in the early results. We'll watch it. So you start to look at a big state like this fill in. One of the things we're at 31%. When you get above halfway, then you start worrying about what are we missing? Because are you missing a big basket of either Democratic or Republican votes? What we are missing, that will be very significant, is the whole Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, Tampa, St. Pete. That's very important, and it's a fierce competition. That's a swing area where you have a good fight, so we don't know anything about that yet. The rest of the map, though, filling in as you would expect it to in terms of these are Democratic strongholds, these are Republican areas, and now we're going to wait for the swing area up here.
We haven't got Broward County yet, which is a huge Democratic area, but take a look at Georgia. I want to quickly go to Georgia. Look what's going on in Georgia right now.
Georgia.
All of a sudden, still very early, but you can see Donald Trump has a very significant lead in Georgia right now.
Significant lead, but 1% of the vote. And again, we're talking about very tiny rural counties. They're important to Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong, every vote counts. But we're looking at these very small counties.
Yeah, that's right. Because the current thing right now is 1% of the vote.
So it's not a big population center. You're not getting a ton of votes, but that's very important to Donald Trump. To run it up. If the Democratic votes hinge on giant turnout in places like Atlanta and places like Columbus, the African American.
I know I'm being ridiculous right now, but fuck, it feels good.
You know what, I want to go back to Florida for a moment, John. Florida, you can see the Miami-Dade is doing well, obviously, for Hillary Clinton. Palm Beach County, Broward. What happened 4 years ago in Broward County? How well does she have to do there?
Well, here you got nothing. We have nothing in so far. So let's go back in time and look at Broward County. 67. So she needs to run up. This is the Democratic areas and the population centers as well. And again, you know it very well because of family history here. The further south you go, the farther north you get. Is the way they say it in Florida. And so you watch this right here, and you come back to 26.
Look at this, 36% of the vote is now in.
Action,
36% now counted. You start to look up here again. This is where the growth has been up in the central part of the state. 63% right here. Go back in time and look, 62%. So she is equal or slightly above President Obama's performance right now when you look through it, and that's the key when you match this back in history. Democrats think, and Republicans too, think turnout is up in Florida, so you're going to watch the key county, see if the percentages match up. I want to look at one other place up here, Tallahassee, Democratic area where the state capital is, 62 or 63% if you round it up to Secretary Clinton, 61% for the president 4 years ago. So as you look at the early results in Florida, almost 40% of the vote. Hillary Clinton at the moment performing in a way consistent with what President Obama was a very narrow
because I'm like going all over the place and not really going to answer because I'm like, hey, it's like, hey.
We're coming down to the bottom of the hour. Two key battleground states. They are getting ready to close. We're talking about North Carolina.
Okay, North Carolina.
Barack Obama lost 4 years ago, carried 8 years ago, and Ohio. Republicans need to win Ohio in order to win the White House.
All right, CNN projections.
Let's start with a CNN projection. CNN projects Donald Trump is the winner in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Donald Trump will carry that state with 5 electoral votes. Trump gets another state, West Virginia. We have a key race alert right now. Too early to call in North Carolina. As you can see right there, 15 electoral votes at stake, a critically important battleground state, and Ohio. Too early to call in Ohio right now. 18 electoral votes in Ohio. We are not able to make projections. Polls are closed in both of those states, cannot make projections yet. Let's take a look at the Electoral College map count, where it stands right now. You can see Donald Trump has a lead. He has 24 electoral votes right now compared to three for Hillary Clinton. You need 270 in order to win the White House. The blue state, that's Vermont. That's the state that Hillary Clinton, we projected, will carry. The red states, those are states that Donald Trump has carried. Those yellow states, too early to call. No projections in those states, at least not yet. Let's go over to Jake. Jake, West Virginia, not a surprise, but we're waiting for Ohio and North Carolina.
And let's take a look at Florida for 1 second. And the only reason I bring this up is because Alex Conan, who is a senior strategist for Marco Rubio, who's running for re-election there, pointed out just a few minutes ago that Marco Rubio was outperforming Donald Trump in absentee ballots in Miami-Dade. The reason I bring it up is because one of the things looking forward for the Republican Party.
Alright, so it's neck and neck. It's fucking neck and neck. So 48%, like it's down to like 0.7%. 0.7% in Florida between Clinton and Trump. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Oh my 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 god!
Remind us why Florida is so important right now.
Where do we start? First of all,
it's absolutely mind-blowing and nerve-wracking and shit. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! I'm so fucking nervous right now. Just absolutely fucking nervous. Like, oh my god. I can't even focus on like writing the right thing.
Where this year, both of these campaigns played so hard, spent so much money, the most money of any state, for lots of reasons, primarily because it is so big and it is so diverse geographically, and it's expensive when it comes to media markets. So it is by far the one that we are watching, and even Donald Trump has said to think that there is a path for him to the White House without winning Florida.
We talked about the fact that Donald Trump really needs to run the table when it comes to a whole bunch of these big important battles. Hillary Clinton certainly needs a large chunk of them, but Donald Trump needs to run the table. It's hard to imagine a path to the White House for Donald Trump without the state of Florida.
So let's go over to John Kay over at the Magic Wall. Take a closer look at Florida right now. Once again, John, 43%.
Okay, so Georgia, Ohio, NC. Okay. So it's rapidly closing.
Also had votes filling in down here. Sarasota County, Donald Trump had a rally here just the other day in Sarasota County. He's running 50.5%, 47%. But again, first I want to go back and just look at the presidential history. Mitt Romney won this county a little bit bigger. So we'll see. It's only the early results for Donald Trump. But to the point Jake just made, it's a very important debate because win or lose, the Republican Party is going to have a big debate after this election. But so let's look at what Jake was just talking about. Let's pull up Miami-Dade County, right? You see Donald Trump? Remember the 36.5. So round Donald Trump up to 37% so far in Miami-Dade. Look at the Marco Rubio performance, 47%. So he's running 10 points ahead of Donald Trump in Miami-Dade. Let's come back up here and look at Orange County, where Orlando is. Again, a swing area of the state. This part here is Democratic. You go across the I-4 corridor, it swings back and forth. But there's Rubio just shy of 40%. Let's look at Donald Trump, 34%. So this is the debate that's going to happen within Florida and across the country tonight. People are going to look at how the Senate candidates run, how the governor candidates run, compare Donald Trump to Mitt Romney, compare Donald Trump to Republicans on the ballot, because we'll settle the presidential election tonight, we think, but the Republican Party is going to have this debate about who should lead it and what it should be about for a long time to come. Now, as we watch this, we're up to 45%. It's a pretty quick count so far, but that's mostly the early votes being reported. And so now we're going to wait for today's votes to be counted as well. And we went through this 4 years ago. We went to Jake's point. We went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and Florida ended up here, 50-49 4 years ago. And it sure looks like it's on track to be in that same ballpark tonight as we get to 46% of the vote so far.
Because in the northern part of the state, pretty much Republican. Southern part of the state, very often Democratic.
This room is fucking difficult to eat.
Southwestern part of the state is a Republican area. This eastern part of the state, Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach County, this is your Democratic stronghold. Every election, it comes down to the Democratic Democrats run up the vote total in these bottom 3 southeast counties to offset. You're going to see a lot of red on this side of the state and up here across the top of the state.
We have no results from Broward County yet. That's where Fort Lauderdale is.
Right, nothing yet at all there. And again, if you go back 4 years ago, this is a very important county for the Democrats, 67 to 32. You want to run it up in these counties in the southeast part of the state. Again, Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade. You want to run it up there to offset some of this as we go forward. As you come forward here, you see we're missing a whole lot of red. If you come up this way, the Democrats up this way, mostly here, but also right across in here. And we did get, as we come back, the last time you were here, Hillsborough County is Tampa, Pinellas County is St. Pete. This is a swing. This is a swing area where the campaigns have had a fierce fight. This tells you a lot. This one county tells you a lot about how tough
You know what I want to do, John? Let's take a look at the United States, the national vote, as it's coming in right now. Let's take a look and see where Donald Trump is as opposed to Hillary Clinton. Take a look at this. Among the national vote, these are the votes that have already been counted. Trump is winning nationally, 52.7%, 44% for Hillary Clinton. He has 3,100,000. She has 2,600,000. Take a look at that.
Well, we're going to go through this as we count. Look, we're only in this part of the country, and we have very preliminary results. But one of the conversations tonight, and one of the conversations some political strategists have had, will we have something like 2000 again, where one candidate wins the popular vote and somebody else wins the electoral vote? If you're looking at the map now, Donald Trump is not winning all these states. He's just leading this. We have pulled something. We've pulled Indiana, I believe, in Kentucky. But if you're looking at the map early in the night, just because it's shaded doesn't tell you who won. It tells you who's leading. These are live results. And as I'm talking, sometimes these results will change as we talk because live results are coming in. Let's look up at this state. Another that has been leaning more and more Democratic, but in Virginia at the moment, Donald Trump is leading, 54% to 41%. Most of the vote is coming in from Republican areas, so there's no surprise there. But here's one of the things we'll look at. We come out here, Fauquier County. This is a ex-urban area. Now it's a suburb. Used to be the exurbs, but outside of D.C. is Donald Trump running well out here. And then the key issue will be when we get in closer. Loudon County, used to be Republican, has now become a Democratic leading suburb.
28% of the vote is in there.
Is 50% about right for Secretary Clinton? 52% for President Obama when he won the state 4 years ago. One of the things we'll look at as we go through the night. Again, I come back out here. This is one of the counties I always watch. Prince William County, once Republican, now Democratic, in part because of college-educated women and in part because of the growing Latino population. 57% right now. We just got the first votes in Fairfax County. I'll skip over there in a second. 57% there. You go back in time, 57%. So it's running about what it takes for a Democratic victory, even though Donald Trump is ahead at the moment. Fairfax County, 60%. She's running just shy of that, and 58%. The results coming in so far, I suspect when I pull back out, it's a little bit closer now. But Donald Trump's still leading in part because, as we expect, in these more rural areas, Republican anyway, Donald Trump is running up pretty healthy margins when you go into these smaller counties in the southwestern part of the state. You see 71, 73. That's where his early lead is coming from. The challenge for Secretary Clinton, offset it up here when the vote comes in, when more of the vote comes in the decent suburbs.
Let's take a look at North Carolina right now. They put the polls closed there just a few moments ago.
And we have very little so far, just 2%. And you're going to see this. Some of this is going to sound familiar throughout the night. You're in these rural areas out here. Donald Trump has to run it up so far, 63% to 35%. Remember,
all right, something important popped up.
Except for here in Durham County, some polling places have been left open for up to an hour, I believe. That was more personal.